Soot falls like dark snow. Children cough in the dimness. Men leave the factories before dawn and return after the sky has lost its color. The air burns the lungs. The river smells of rust and sewage. On every corner, a gear turns. In every window, a shadow works. London does not sleep. London burns coal. And in the middle of this endless noise, one question echoes: what is the cost of transforming the world? It is the 1700s, London during the Industrial Revolution, a moment that split history in two. Machines replace arms, steam replaces wind, factories rise where fields once stood. The city becomes the beating heart of a new era. It is extraordinary because nothing like it had ever happened before. Production explodes, wealth multiplies, but the price is invisible at first and irreversible later. Many imagined England at that time was already drowning in misery. It was not. The empire expanded roots, accumulated capital, financed inventions, ports crowded, trade vibrant, science advancing. There was confidence, there was pride. London was a symbol of progress. Cafes full of ideas, newspapers circulating, banks funding mechanical dreams. The peak felt permanent. No one saw the social collapse growing alongside the chimneys. The city functioned like an interconnected organism. Ships brought cotton from the colonies. Coal came from the northern mines. Craftsmen became laborers. Fields emptied. Streets filled. Everything connected by roads, canals, and the Thames, carrying goods and also waste. Ideas traveled fast. Profits traveled faster. The very efficiency that made London powerful created dependence, accelerated rhythm, endless production, life reduced to working hours. But the origin of this transformation began far from the soot-covered streets. It began in deep mines where men descended into darkness to extract coal. It began in quiet workshops where inventors watched steam escape and imagined controlling it. Water boiling, pressure building, metal trembling. There was no full understanding of the consequences, only fascination. The steam engine emerged as a silent promise, an invisible force about to redraw the world. The point of contact with urban civilization came when the first factories settled on London's edges. Brick buildings, tall windows, wheels turning without rest. Steam moved through pipes like hot blood. Metallic sound invaded entire neighborhoods. There, in that meeting between invention and ambition, the portal opened. The city ceased to be only a political capital. It became an industrial capital. The spread was rapid. Textile mills, ironworks, shipyards. City after city in England followed the example. Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool. But London concentrated the human impact. Crowds arrived seeking work. Slums multiplied. Narrow streets overcrowded. Water contaminated. Disease found fertile ground. Wealth grew in offices. Exhaustion grew in basements. The rhythm did not slow. Those who stopped fell behind. People tried to understand. Some saw machines as liberation from physical effort. Others saw them as theft of livelihood. Some blamed fate. Some blamed God. Some blamed the workers themselves for not adapting. Science advanced, but it was still limited in confronting urban disease. 15-hour shifts were common. Children worked among dangerous gears. Reforms were discussed, but production spoke louder. Each partial solution created new problems. Over time, social bonds weakened. Entire families lived in a single room. Exhaustion replaced connection. Churches filled with prayers. Hospitals filled with the injured. Fear of unemployment silenced revolt. The anonymity of the city eroded rural solidarity. Contemporary accounts described streets where sunlight barely reached the ground. Progress shone in elegant halls. Shadow ruled the working districts. Despair also created radicalization. Workers destroyed machines, believing them the enemy. Owners demanded repression. Troops were called. Conflict intensified. Migrants and minorities were accused of stealing jobs. The search for blame simplified a complex reality. Fear became hostility. The industrial city revealed not only innovation, but constant tension. And it was not only London that suffered. In the countryside, villages emptied. Small farmers lost ground to large mechanized estates. Harvests were reorganized to feed urban centers. Landscapes changed. Where stable communities once stood, abandoned houses remained. Nature yielded to mines and railways. The impact spread across all England. As decades passed, the initial shock faded, not because suffering disappeared, but because society adapted. Labor laws slowly emerged, social movements gained voice. The city learned slowly to live with the machine. The disaster did not retreat like a war ending. It transformed. It became structure. The world after the Industrial Revolution was unrecognizable. Mass production, rapid urbanization, a new working class, a new industrial elite. Time measured by factory clocks, human value tied to productivity. Modernity was born between smoke and iron. From London's suffocated streets emerged a model that would spread across the entire planet. Today, we live through another transformation. Digital, silent, fast. We also believe we stand at the peak. We also celebrate efficiency and innovation. But the story of London in the 1700s whispers a warning. Every advance has a price. Every gear shapes lives. The question remains, are we aware of the cost of our own progress? I am the narrator who walks among ruins and chimneys. To look at London during the Industrial Revolution is to look at the beginning of the world we inhabit. And if we want to understand the present, we must keep crossing the ages, one city at a time.